everyone, and welcome back for another YouTube tutorial. And if it's your first time tuning in, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. I am doing another set of duck nails. This is my fourth or fifth set, and I'm absolutely starting to love and feel the duck nail trend. Now, if you want to purchase these tips, I purchased mine off of Amazon. If you don't, you necessarily don't have to. You can absolutely use your stiletto tips or your coffin tips. Just turn them around. I do have a video about that, but if you want something that's more detailed, I definitely will do it. Just drop a comment down in the comment box and I will get that video out to you. Now, the three things that I feel like is most important when you're doing a set of duck nails is: one, use a set of shears or a set of straight edge clippers when you have to cut them down. Two, remember, if you're getting these nail tips that I purchased off of Amazon, they do run a little bit smaller. So it's always good to size up at least one or two, preferably two. But if you don't have to size up two, at least one, because they do run small. And three, it is definitely important to make sure you try to build a decent apex in that area where the tip ends and the natural nail begin. Well, the natural nail ends and the tip begins, because these nails are wider. They are not as strong as other tips. And then on top of these tips actually are they're not that strong. They're kind of a little bit on the flimsy side. So it's definitely best to make sure you build up a decent apex. It does not have to be super thick, but a decent size apex where you know that your client nail will be secured and will last them a long time. I'm always asked, how do I do my shaping? And this is how I usually do it. I always go up under the nail and then I go up on top of the nail. Right now I'm just doing my blending part, kind of not really doing too much filing, because I know once I apply my acrylic, that's when I'm going to do my major filing. So when I'm just doing my tips, I'm only doing a really light file. I'm not doing something just so much filing in the beginning. Now, a lot of people do a lot of filing in the beginning and filing in the end, but I have found that it's better for me to do a light filing in the beginning and then go in and do all my other filing once the acrylic is laid. I feel like that's the important time that you start your filing process. Really, when you're doing your filing in the beginning, just kind of reshaping the tips and all that, you're just trying to make sure when you have your outline for your acrylic lay. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's the outline for the acrylic lay. So when you're doing this part, it's more like an outline. You're creating an outline, so when you're laying your acrylic, you know where you're going with your acrylic. You're making sure you clean off your side walls to keep that shape that you've already outlined from the beginning, if that makes sense. I think that kind of makes it make a little bit more sense for those who's trying to figure out their filing method. When you're doing the beginning process of shaping, that's only shaping the tip, you're creating your outline for your acrylic lay. she wanted to do, and absolutely love it. I don't have all the colors with it, but it's okay. Remember that most clients do not get super picky if you don't have the exact colors. Now, the acrylic that I'm using today is from Dynamic Nail Supply. The Bad Enough is a great dupe from the Valentino Bad and Bougie. If you know, you know. Their acrylics are so good, y'all. They're definitely affordable. The 1 ounce bottle is like $6. The 2 ounce jar that I have in front of me right now is $8, and the 4 ounce I believe it's either $16 or $18. Super affordable, and definitely beginner friendly. I absolutely love Dynamic Nail Supply nudes all day long. I can't rave about them enough, honestly. Now, when I'm applying my acrylic, I always go in. I do not, first of all, I do not get like super hung up on the 1B, 2B, 3B method. I just don't, because if I see a area that needs to be filled in, I'm definitely going to fill it in. I'm not going to sit here and get super hung up on that 1B, 2B, 3B method. Um, because I feel like it kind of makes a lot of people, especially those who are beginners, feel discouraged if they can't get it. I know when I started out and I was so hung up on trying to get the 1B method, at one point I'm like, okay, let me do the 2B method. I got so hung up on it that at times I felt like I was failing myself. So I stopped even worrying about the methods that I was watching on YouTube and all that. I just figured that I would just fill in what I need to fill in, and it just works for me. So I just don't worry about it, and I'm not going to tell anybody on here to try to do the 1B method or the 2B method or the 3B method. Just look at that nail from sidewall to sidewall, and wherever you feel that you need to fill something in, just fill it in. Just make sure you're not like overdoing it. Just make sure you're just putting in enough to fill in that area, especially if you have a client that has those deeper side walls. Please make sure you're looking at that nail from both angles, because you're going to probably 9 times out of 10 miss an area where you need to be filling in. So I zoomed in so that way you can see how I apply my acrylic on this nail. I started with my first bead, which is normally called your apex bead, but because her nails are a little bit more on the shorter side, it's just my first actual bead. You do want to build up somewhat of an apex, but not too thick, because her nails are not that long. But because they are duck nails, you want to make sure that you have enough structure in that area. Now, as you can see, my first bead did not do so well, so I had to apply a second bead at the tip, so that way I can build my tip up on my nail, because I didn't have enough acrylic on the first bead, and that is okay. But please make sure you're using your body of your brush to clean off your sidewalls and to keep up your shape. Um, Application is very important, you guys. Just take your time with your application. I would definitely be doing more application videos. I feel like when it comes to doing nails, your filing, your application, and your nail prep is the three most important things. So I do try to focus on those a lot more than anything else, especially not just on designs and all that. That's the fun stuff. I always say that's the fun stuff. But you got to put in the work first on the main part, before you start on the fun things like all the nail art and all that. pouches that I chose to use for this design is from D&D Gel XR. My Snow White is from Gel XR, and my D&D Hibiscus Pink. I absolutely love these colors. The design came out so bomb. Even though I did not have all the exact colors, I was able to mix the Snow White and the Hibiscus Pink to make the light pink, and everything just came out just flawless. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for just blessing me to watch my videos. I'm thanking y'all for commenting, all the nice comments that I'm receiving. Also some not so nice comments, but you watch my video and I thank you for it anyway. Remember, you guys, that practice does not make for perfection. I have to say this, but it does make for progress, you guys. It does make for progress. I am a living witness that if you keep at it, you cannot fail at it. It must come true. So thank y'all. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all in the next video. Bye.